Dear listeners, do you believe that everything on this planet is interconnected in terms of karma? As they say, everything happens for a reason. Do you believe it? Let me know. If you remember the small prank of Takshak with Uttank leads to the Sarpayagya of Raja Janmejay. Now, as in the previous audio, we see Ruru killing every snake for his wife's misery. What do you think? Where it will lead him to? Well, let's find out. As Ruru continues killing every serpent he sees, one day Ruru goes into a great forest and sees an aged serpent of the species called Dunduva lying on the ground. Ruru raised his stick in wrath like a Yamadanda to kill it when the Dunduva spoke to him. I have done no harm, O Brahman. Why do you want to kill me in such anger? When Ruru heard what the snake said, he answered, A snake beat my wife, dear to me as life, and I swore then that I would kill every serpent I saw. That is why I will now kill you with my stick. The Dunduva said, O Brahman, the snakes that bite man are a different species from us. Why should you kill Dundubas, who are serpents, but in name we are prey to the same misfortunes as others, but do not share venom like other snakes. We have the same sorrows, but not the same strengths or joys. It is a mistake for you to kill the Dunduvas. Rishi Ruru listened to the snake and saw how it trembled with fear unlike a serpent, though it was indeed a snake, but more like a human, and he decided not to kill it. Ruru asked the snake, Tell me, O Dunduva, who are you really? The Dunduva replied, I was once a rishi, and my name was Sahasrapat. The curse of a Brahman transformed me into a snake. Ruru asked, Why did a Brahman curse you? How long will you be a snake? The Dunduva said, Long ago, I had a friend called Khagama. He had considerable spiritual power by his tapasya and was short-tempered and rash of speech. One day, while he performed the Agnihotra, I made a snake of grass and playfully tried to scare him with it. He fainted from fright. But when he regained consciousness, he cursed me in anger. Since you made a snake of grass to frighten me, become a snake yourself, and as powerless as a grass snake, for you shall have no venom. O Rishi, I knew how powerful he was by his penance. I bowed low before him with folded hands and a pounding heart, and said, My dear friend, it was only a jest to make you laugh. I beg you, pardon me and take back your curse. Seeing me desperate, The sage was moved to pity. He said, "I cannot revoke my curse, but you must become a snake." But Muni, when Pramati's pure-hearted son Ruru appears before you, the curse will end. At the end of Dunduva's story, Ruru reveals his identity, and Dunduva transforms before Ruru's eyes, and he is again an illustrious Brahman, radiant as the day. So you see, Ruru's act of vengeance leads to the liberation or mukti of Dunduva's curse. However, we all know that revenge is merciless to karma. So what punishment does Ruru get? Well, for that you have to wait and continue with our audios. For now, let us continue with the story of Dunduva. Dunduva said to the powerful and peerless Ruru, "O best among created beings, sparing a life is the highest virtue, and a Brahman should never kill any creature. His prime dharma should be to study and remember the Vedas. A Brahman should always be gentle, non-violent, and forgiving. Dear Ruru, you should not act like Raja Janmenjay, who killed 1,000 snakes for vengeance, but you should act like Rishi Ashtika, who saved those powerless Nagas from Sarpayagya." Dear listeners, do you remember Uttank from previous audios who provoked Raja Janmenjay to perform Sarpayagya? If you don't, simply go to the podcast playlist, scroll down and open the first published video and start hearing from there. You will hear the story in sequence. You will find the audio in both Hindi and English. You can hear either in English or Hindi according to your preference. As Dunduva finished, Ruru asked, "Why did King Janmenjay want to slaughter the race of serpents? And why did Rishi Ashtika save them, and how? Tell me in detail." Guys, have you noticed how in every small segment of the story a small narrator was introduced? For example, in the previous audio, Ruru was the narrator of his story, and for this section, Dunduva is the narrator. Following this, the primary narrator remains fixed, but the secondary narrator changes with every story. Like Ruru, do you also want to know how Rishi Ashtika saved the Nagas? Well, you have to wait for the next audio. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you soon.